Ladies and gentlemen, Jesse Minter continues to crush hiring coaches for this brand new Baltimore Ravens staff. We got two sneaky great moves to talk about. Joe Lombardi hired as a senior offensive assistant, and then Eddie Faulkner is your new running backs coach. We'll break down both of those, why you should be excited, and why we're getting so pumped up about all the moves that our new head coach is making to this coaching staff. Real quickly, though, before we talk about Lombardi, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. We have started our February sub battle against Steelers Talk. They are up, but not by much. Only 37 subs ahead. It's easy to make that up by the end of the day, okay? If you love the Ravens, if you want daily videos, subscribe to the channel. Jeff Strayback is the one who broke the news earlier today. Veteran NFL offensive coordinator Joe Lombardi will be joining Jesse Minter's Ravens staff as a senior offensive assistant per sources. Now, if for some reason you are upset about this hire, I'm just going to tell you, first off, chill out. It's just an offensive assistant, right? There were some people that were incredibly mad about P.J. Volker yesterday from Navy, and I'm like, dude, it's just a defensive assistant role. Calm down. This isn't going to make or break a season, but Joe Lombardi can be a guy who helps extremely on the offensive side of the football because he's got a ton of experience. Quarterback coach, two different stints of that with the New Orleans Saints, one from 2009 to 2013, and then again from 2016 to 2020. Other than those two stints with the Saints, over the last 15, 16 years, he has been an offensive coordinator, 2014 to 2015 with the Detroit Lions, and then 2021 through 2022 with the Los Angeles Chargers, and most recently from 2023 to 2025, he was the offensive coordinator for the Denver Broncos under Shawn. My take on the Lombardi edition, I love getting a guy with that much coordinator experience on staff, okay? Because when you hire Declan Doyle, my biggest question mark with that, and not even after the hiring, this was during the interview process. This was before Declan Doyle was even named as a candidate. I said, look, if you're going to hire a guy who's a first-time play caller, that's going to be a little bit of a risk given the fact that this is going to be a first-time head coach and most likely, ended up not being the case, but a first-time defensive coordinator as well. So you add in Declan Doyle. He's under 30 years old. He's never called plays. And sure, he's learned under two great offensive minds in Ben Johnson and Sean Payton, but it's still there is risk to that addition. Well, now that you add Joe Lombardi as an offensive assistant, he's a guy who's called plays at multiple different stops in this league. I'm not going to say he's going to be sitting there holding Declan Doyle's hands along the entire season, but it's just going to be nice to have a guy on staff with unbelievable experience, right? Experience you cannot pay for. Grade the hire for me. A, B, C, D, or F. Down below in the comment section. Weigh in with your answer and give me your grade down below. I also love the fact that he has coached, been an offense coordinator for a defensive guy before. When he served in Los Angeles under Staley, he was there as a offensive coordinator and play caller for a defensive-minded head coach. So he knows the good things that come with that. He knows the bad things. He knows the easy things. He knows the challenges, right? And those offenses for the Chargers in those 2 years, they were great. On that staff, in that team, Lombardi was not the problem. 5th in points for in 2021. 4th in total yards. Herbert threw for over 5,000 yards, and both Mike Williams and Keenan Allen had over 1,100 yards received. 2022, a little bit of a step back. 13th in points for, still top half of the league, top 10 in total yards. Herbert threw for 4,700 yards, and Williams and Allen were both hurt. So the fact that they had even decent statistics in 2022, that is impressive. Again, Lombardi was not the problem. He's not the reason the head coach got fired. He's not the reason they went in a different direction. Right? They weren't bad. That doesn't make me too upset, right? If I'm Lamar Jackson, with these two hires of Declan Doyle and of Joe Lombardi having experience and youth, new and old, all blended together, I should be and would be absolutely pumped up if I were him. saying, man, it's just going to be a brand new look of an offense, but it's going to be something really, really special. So the coaching staff is starting to, round itself out. You got Declan Doyle as the OC. Lombardi now is your senior assistant. Quarterback coach, that's to be determined. However, you got Eddie Faulkner in there as running back coach. We'll talk about him in a second. No wide receivers coach yet, but you got Dwayne Ledford in as your offensive line coach and run game coordinator, Shawn Flaherty as his assistant, and then the tight end coach has yet to be decided yet as well. Defensively, your play caller, of course, will be Jesse Minter. Anthony Weaver is your defensive coordinator. Still waiting on your defensive line and outside linebackers coach. The inside linebacker coach will be Tyler Santucci. Mike Mickens is going to be your defensive backs coach and defensive pass game coordinator. PJ Volker will be your safety coach, and the assistant on the defensive side of the ball is Charlie Gelman, also your game manager. And for all the sickos out there, your special teams coaching staff, the coordinator to be determined. However, the assistant special teams coach is going to be Randy Brown. Do you love the staff so far? If you do me one big favor. Hit that thumbs up button and like today's video. Prove you love it down below by liking it. Something I know you're going to like is our great friends over at Prize Picks. Before we continue on into our today's show, I got to give them a big shout out because the big game is almost here. And there's no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. And since the big game is right around the corner, that also means it's your last chance to get into the football action before next season. So, close the season out right with Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. This week, Prize Picks has a special max discount for the big game. Live in the app now. Drake May just needs one passing yard for the max discount to win. Just add another player in your lineup, and if your picks hit, you can cash in, join millions of users, and sign up for America's #1 sports picks app. Of course, had to take advantage of the Drake May max discount. Have the more on his passing yards. I got the less on Ramondre Stevenson rushing yards. Give me the more on Cooper Kupp, 32.5 receiving yards. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Link to this promo is in the comments and description of today's video. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Tom Pelissero broke the news just about an hour ago that after 7 years with the Steelers, running backs coach Eddie Faulkner is expected to take the same job with AFC North rival Ravens. Per sources, Faulkner molded Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, and Kenneth Gainwell in Pittsburgh. Now he'll team up with Derrick Henry. Man, if you're upset about this move, because you say, look at the way the Steelers running backs have performed over the last 7 years. That's not at the fault of Eddie Faulkner, right? They just haven't had much running back talent, and he's done decently well with what they've given him to work with. Like, you're not going to blame the quarterback coach if he can't make me work at the NFL level. Now, obviously, I'm speaking hyperbolically, but I'm going to say the same thing about Eddie Faulkner as I did about Lombardi. I love having veterans on this coaching staff for Declan Doyle. I think that is going to be so beneficial, not just to him, but for the entirety of this team. Another thing I'm excited about having Eddie Faulkner is one of the things the running backs for Pittsburgh were so good at. All you got to do is watch the 3 times you played him this last year, I guess the 2 times. They were great out of the backfield as receiving threats. So I'm excited to see if that's something that he can help add to the Baltimore Ravens offensive playbook and add to the skill set of the running backs in the running back room. Excited for him to get to pair up with Derrick Henry as well. And also, at the crux of it, it's Derrick Henry, man. Sure, he needs a running back coach. Obviously, that's always going to help him out. He can't just go out there and do it on his own, but he's Derrick Henry. You could coach me. You could hire me to coach running backs, and I'm pretty sure he'd get over 1,000 yards this season. Also, around the National Football League, earlier this morning, Adam Schefter is the one who reported it. Giants are hiring former Chiefs offense coordinator Matt Nagy as their offensive coordinator. And ladies and gentlemen, I want you to realize that we were one decision from keeping John Harbaugh away from Matt Nagy being the Baltimore Ravens' next offensive coordinator. I get it. There are sentimental ties when it comes to John Harbaugh and the Baltimore Ravens, and there should be. John Harbaugh has done amazing things for this team, for this franchise, hoisted a Lombardi trophy. But if you don't think it was the right decision to move on from him, then I frankly disagree. Because what he's done in New York staffing has even paled in comparison to what Jesse Minter has done here in Baltimore. Like, you got a better defensive mind at both the coordinator spot and the head coach spot here in Baltimore. You got a better offensive mind, maybe less experience, but better, Declan Doyle to Matt Nagy. And those are all done moves by Jesse Minter. So, look, you made the right choice. I thought you made the right choice in the moment. It felt weird because obviously it's John Harbaugh, but I think we're seeing the fruits of that decision a month later kind of starting to pan out recently. That's going to do it for today's show. Make sure you guys got me followed on socials. We'll be back again tomorrow morning. Also, reminder, we will be live this time tomorrow afternoon. Subscribe, turn on those notifications as well, and join us then.